Hey there, welcome to another Women Blazing Trail show. My name is Eva. That was a really awkward introduction. I don't even know where that came from. Wah, wah, wah. Hi, my name is Eva. Welcome back to my channel. That's more normal. I feel like I'm falling out here. It's almost Christmas time, depending on when you're watching this. So I thought I would do a video close to my cute little Christmas tree, which happens to be literally only 2 feet tall. I live by myself. I love Christmas. I still wanted to put a tree up. We're going to talk about some really serious stuff today. And I know lately I've been talking about some kind of serious things. Maybe the next video I'll try to do a more fun video of the town I live in. Maybe do an update of the pricing here, moving to Guatemala, that stuff. But for now, I'm going to talk about something a little serious because I just wrote a blog, and I also like to, whenever I write a new blog, I like to do a video on it because sometimes I know I prefer to watch videos than to read or to listen. I learn and I take things in by watching and listening. So where we're going to talk about the new blog post I wrote, it's about healing your inner child. And I'm going to, in the blog post, I think there was like 11 or 13 exercises that I share with you to help you heal your inner child. So I'm not going to go through all of those exercises, and I am going to drop the link down below. But I want to talk a little bit about the inner child, because I think, so just to put it in a little bit of perspective for you, I didn't even know what an inner child was till about like maybe not even 10 years ago. So I'm 60 now. So maybe like I was 50 years old, and it was the first time, maybe even 51 or 52 actually, when I first heard the term inner child. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I had no idea what this person was talking about. And then I discovered what exactly the inner child is. And then once I discovered that I had an inner child and she's a rotten little brat, then I learned how to heal her, control her, and all of that stuff. So we're going to talk about that today. First, I want to talk about the inner child, because I think when we put it into perspective, and I'm going to put it into a perspective for you so you can kind of go, oh, now I get it. And you'll see, and I hope you'll see how the inner child plays a really big role in your life if you don't take the time to do some work with her, which is healing. So the inner child is that younger version of you, the trauma version of you. And she could be any age. She can be 5, she could be 7, she could be 9 or 10. It all depends on the trauma that you're going through. So she'll have different ages and different stages, right? So what she does is she basically is a younger version of you when you are going through whatever trauma at that time that you are going through. She has little temper tantrums. She can be a little bit of a bully. She likes to control things, and most importantly, she wants to control you. So that's your inner child. She is a little brat that wants to control you, and she wants to make all your life decisions for you. And sometimes she spews things that when she shouldn't, and if she was healed, she wouldn't, but she'll spew, obscenities, and she'll spew really mean, trigger-based lash out at people. She'll do that. That's what she does. So in order for you to heal your inner child, which is super important, in order for you to heal her, you have to first recognize her. So I just want to be... Before I get into the steps, I just want to talk a little bit more about the power of your inner child, because I don't think people quite get it. And I didn't understand, because remember, I just learned about her like 8 or 9 years ago. I didn't quite understand who she was, what I didn't understand any of that until somebody explained her to me, and I was like, oh, so much of my life makes sense now, because my inner child, I basically took on my inner child in the way I reacted to things, and the way I treated people, and the way I talked to people, in some of the decisions I made in my life. I made them, a lot of the things that I have done and said to people has come from my inner child, not a healed, mature, adult version of Eva, but my inner child dictated how I was going to behave and act and respond to people. So that's what your inner child does. So if you find yourself lately, or maybe, I don't know, like the last 5 years, 10 years, 1 year, I don't know, if you find that you've been a little bit of a cranky bitch and you're lashing out at people, if you still have trauma responses that are taken to like the extreme, that's your inner child. That's your unhealed version of a smaller you. So that's what your inner child does. So I blame everything on her now, and it's safe to do that. It truly is safe to do that, because we are a product of our upbringing. We are a product of our environment. We're a product of all of that. Where we are today, remember I talked about this in the last video, where we are today is a result of all the choices that we've made. Our entire life has brought us to where we are today. And you can thank your inner child for a lot of that, right? So I think it's mostly important. We're going to get right into it. So I think it's mostly important. I think the most important step in healing your inner child is, the first thing is to acknowledge her. You have to, and most therapists will tell you that you should give her a name. So give your inner child a name. My inner child, her name is Skinny. It's a name that I got. My dad used to call me Skinny all the time. One of my uncles called me Skinny all the time. So my inner child is called Skinny. I call her Skinny because she was in the forefront of all the trauma and all the shit that I put up with, and most of my growing up in my as a teenager. So I call her Skinny. So the first thing to do is acknowledge her, give her a name, acknowledge, and think about the name, like really think about the name that you want to call her, and a name that really, really resonates with you, that suits her, like that's her name. You know what I mean? So acknowledge her. So next time you have like a trauma response, and I literally just had one last week with my friend Dave. I snapped at him and we had like this little confrontation, and then after I was like, okay, I'm sorry, that was a trigger, this is why, and he understood, and then he's like, I'm sorry, blah blah blah. So I understood where that came from, so I was able to stop it, because now I know that that's her. So I was able to stop her, or stop my trauma response, and go, okay, Eva, that was 30 years ago, 25 years ago, that's not where we are anymore. So let Skinny know that those people aren't here to hurt you anymore. You are amazing, you are beautiful, you are brilliant, you're not stupid, you're not any of that. You are an amazing, look at how far you've gotten, Eva. Like, look at how far you've come in your life. You are fucking amazeballs, man. So I had to calm my inner child down at that time, and go, no, that's not who we are. So this is what happens with the inner child. So I want you to acknowledge her, like bring her up, put her, sit her at the table with you, give her a name, and say, hey, you know what? I understand you're here to protect me. I understand that the way you react to things and the things you do you do that because that's all you know. You don't know any different. I understand that. I understand that you're angry, you're hurt, you're mad, you're upset, You feel so defeated, you feel so betrayed, and and I know you're angry, and I know, so a lot of the time your inner child wants to hurt people. Fuck you. You know what I mean? And that's what she'll say. Well, that's what my inner child says. Maybe yours doesn't. But she'll be like, fuck you. And she'll just be like in your face, or whoever's face. So you need to like calm her down, because that's not an adult reaction. So we need to calm her down. She's very, very angry. She hasn't healed from the people who have hurt her. So once you acknowledge her, so I want you to sit her down. I want you to acknowledge her. I want you to give her a name. I want you to let her know that you're the adult now. So you know what, Skinny, I understand you were hurt a lot in your life. Like, I get that. I understand that. I understand a lot of the people that have hurt you never apologize, never even acknowledge the pain that they caused you. My dad never, ever, not once, like in a million, never acknowledged any of the pain he caused me, ever. So when he died with that, never apologizing, never acknowledging it, nothing, like it didn't even happen. So my inner child was still fucking angry, and I would just lash out. So let her know that those people can't hurt you anymore. You are strong now, and you're not going to let those people hurt you anymore. You need to let her know that you are the adult. You're going to protect her now. She is safe with you, and you're going to protect her. So have a conversation with her, like let her know that she's okay, she's safe, nobody's going to hurt you anymore, you're okay now. So have that conversation with her. The second thing I want you to do with your inner child, I'm not sure if I wrote this in the blog, maybe I should have, but another thing that I want you to do with her, second thing, is you can write out a list, and you can do it with her or without her, it doesn't really matter. You can write out a list of the people who, like, let's just say, like, the top 3. Maybe you've been hurt by 5 or 10 or 25 people. I don't know. Like, just take the top 3 people, if you will, people that hurt you, and write their names out on a piece of paper. And you can write out on the piece of paper how they hurt you or what they did to hurt you. You can write that out, and then I want you to forgive them. And you can do that with her, or you can do that by yourself. It doesn't matter, but I want you to forgive them. And I know forgiving is really, really hard. I think I did a video on forgiving. I'll drop that link in one of these corners to the video for forgiveness. But I want you to forgive that person. And yeah, it is hard to forgive because they don't deserve my forgiveness. I ain't forgiving them. Do you know what they did to me? They don't deserve my forgiveness. And I'll talk about forgiveness till the day I die, because I am a strong believer in forgiveness. Forgiveness will set you free. Forgiveness has nothing to do with the person that hurt you, and it has everything to do with you. Forgiveness will set you free. And you need to be free from all the hurt that was caused to you in the past. You need to be free from that, and the only thing that is going to free you from that is forgiveness. So write out their names, write out the shitty thing they did, and then just release them. Say, you know what, John or Sally or Margaret or Henry or whoever, I forgive you, I love you, goodbye, and just let them go. Like, you need to forgive them and release them, which is not easy. But you're going to stay chained to your past if you don't forgive these people. You will always be a slave to the hurt, and you will always be chained to your past, and you'll be chained to this hurt, and you will be imprisoned. Basically, that's what it is. You will be imprisoned in your past until you release these people and let them go. So you have to do that. And so the third thing I want to share with you about your inner child is, your third tip is to just, when you you've acknowledged her and you told her that you're like the adult. The third thing is when you find yourself starting to freak out a little bit, something's coming up, there's a trigger, there's a little bit of a trauma response happening. I need you as the adult to calm down. Like you need to take a step back from the situation and go, breathe it through, like just breathe through it and go, okay. And then talk to your inner child. Okay, Skinny, no, shh, we got this. We're okay. Like you really need to do that, because if you don't do that, you're gonna snap, you're gonna lose your shit and you're gonna snap. And don't forget, the tongue is the sharpest and strongest muscle in the body, and it can do a lot of damage. You can say a lot of really, really hurtful things to people, and you can't take that back. So next time you're in a situation where you feel very like you're gonna lose your shit, like you're about to like fucking explode, like I need you to just like stop and take a step back and take a big deep breath. And I know that's hard to do, but please, please, please do it. It's so important, and you're gonna feel so much better. You don't even know how powerful you're gonna feel after. You're gonna feel so much better, and you're gonna feel so strong, and you're gonna feel so powerful. And you're gonna be like, oh my God, I did it. I conquered that demon and I rose above it, and I am the better person for it. And it's step by step. Like it's not, like none of this healing is gonna happen overnight. It's bit by bit, step by step, and it's not easy. It's not pretty. It can be ugly and messy and frustrating. And exhausting, and it can be confusing, and there'll be times when you'll feel so fucking angry. Just breathe through it. That's part of the healing. And you'll say, and I was telling my friend, you're constantly like, you're not going to go through like a little healing journey and then all of a sudden be like, oh, I'm healed. I went through 6 months of therapy or a year of therapy, and I did all this journaling and I did all this healing, and oh my God, look, I'm amazing, and I'm done, and all my healing is over. It never ends. So your healing never ends. You just get better at it. You get better at your reaction. You get better at how you respond to things. You get better in dealing with people who trigger you. You just get better at it. So anyway, I hope that helped. I hope that helped you a little bit. If you've been feeling, maybe, in the last little while, if you've been feeling kind of angry and kind of hurt and kind of whatever, it's probably largely due to your inner child, and she just needs a little bit of TLC. She needs a little bit of attention, and she needs a little bit of love and some healing. So I'm going to drop the link down below to the blog. I really want you to read it. It's a really good blog. I'm going to drop the link to the blog down below. 13, 15, I don't remember, 11, who knows. Inner child healing exercises, like things that you can do, and they're really, really good. So please read it, please share it. So don't forget, if you liked my video, love, comment, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, because when you do that, you show YouTube that I'm awesome and that you love me and you want to see more of my stuff, and YouTube should show more of my stuff to people because I'm great. So that's what that does for liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing. It just signals to YouTube that you want to see more of my stuff, and YouTube should show my stuff to more people because I can help more people that way too. So anyway, that's all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I love you. Please don't forget to check out the blog, and I think that's all I got for you, and I'll catch y'all back here on the next video. Bye for now.